How's it going, gentlemen? Before I start the video, I'm going to put a couple links below. I'm on Odyssey, MGTOW.TV, Podbean Livestream, and the infamous group in Telegram called MGTOW Squad. I'm going to put the link below so you can go out there and check it out and go all tech platform because all tech is the future. Welcome to my city, welcome to Asian Town, and welcome to the infamous home of Walk and Talk MGTOW shit. Well, today's video, I'm about to get into critical race theory, the culture war, and I'm going to do an observation. And I know this is going to sound, however it's going to sound, it might sound racist, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's an observation that I've been doing. I've been living in this city for 25 years, and I know there's a few things here and there. So let's talk about what happened, and briefly what happened out there in Atlanta, where 6 women got killed by this maniac. I go as far as I call him an incel, sexual frustrated. He went out there in a rampage and started killing people out there. So the leftist has picked up this stop the violence against Asian, and I will get that there in a minute. So let's play a little music here, background music. There you go. Here we go. So let me give you a little thing here. I haven't been in establishment for quite some time due to the fact of this mask mandate, and I don't believe in this mask situation and stuff like that. But I'm gonna wear a mask today, so I'm taking one for the team. Okay, when I go shopping, I go to places where they're not so strict with the mask stuff. Because right here with this leftist, they have mask policing, and every day I get some kind of situation with some skanks out there. Well, most of it is women too. Well, let me give you the truth, the honest truth. I have kids from different black backgrounds. I got kids, they half Puerto Rican and half black. I got kids, they half Puerto Rican, quarter Asian, and quarter white. So when I was young, I was a really, wild alley cat. And I did not discriminate when it came down to women. I banged all of them, all races. But this is the truth, the honest truth. When it comes down to the stop the violence against Asian, there's 2 particular people who are conducting in this behavior. When it comes down to violence, it's obviously black people. I see them all the time right here in my city. Not only that, I've seen videos out there in New York City knocking out Asian folks for shits and giggles. Let's be honest, I'm gonna be real with it. And the other groups have been discriminated very harshly against Asians. And it's called the leftist, postmodernist, social justice warriors, scum of the earth. Now, the reason I'm coming out with this video, because I want to show you what the Asian community has been going out here with this so-called leftist or postmodernist social justice warrior. They've been fighting this fight for quite some time, since the 90s, believe it or not. And I want to play your article here so you guys don't think I'm making anything up, So we losing the culture war. Is this comedian the other day, and he's married to a black woman, and they call him racist. They call him racist because the reason they call him racist, because he's quote unquote white supremacy. This is how insanity these people has been. The leftist has taken over everything with this critical race theory, over government, sports, entertainment, every aspect, and we're losing the war. We are losing the war. Now, when this incident happened with the 6 ladies out in Atlanta, some Asian had taken this topic, stop the violence against Asian, right? And the leftists are pretty good at hijacking minorities and using for their own cause. Even the Chinese called them Baozo. Baozo meaning the white leftists take causes for minority causes and LGBT causes to feel good about themselves. And that's true. I know these people for a really long time. I've been here for 25 years and I know them very well. Well, gentlemen, I want to call it quits here. I want to play you this article that took place 2 years ago, so you understand and realize that the Asian has been discriminated. Real discrimination, because they're smart, they got higher income than whites, and the white leftists, in my view, are feeling threatened by them. So that's the reason they're coming out with this nonsense with critical race theory and saying that Asian people are not minority, but they're white supremacists. This is the word that we live at. Well, gentlemen, like I always say, peace, stay MGTOW. I'll definitely catch your next podcast, live stream, or video.
Danger.
Americans for Equal Opportunity, a thriving minority group, breaks with the progressive consensus on race. Christopher F. Rufo is a contributing editor of City Journal, documentary filmmaker, and research fellow at the Discovery Institute Center on Wealth and Poverty. He has directed 4 films for PBS, including his new film, America Lost, which tells the story of 3 forgotten American cities. Follow him on Facebook and Twitter. Asian Americans in Washington state are beginning to rebel against progressive orthodoxy on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Earlier this year, Democratic lawmakers passed a law repealing the ban on affirmative action that Washington voters approved in 1998. Initiative 1000 legalizes race-based discrimination in college admissions and public sector employment, which, advocates argue, will lead to greater opportunity for minorities. In practice, though, the law will harm Asian Americans by reducing their admissions to the University of Washington system, unfairly punishing their academic success. According to court filings, when a similar system was enacted at Harvard, which included personality scores, it created an Asian American penalty that effectively halved Asian American admissions compared to academics-only models. During the legislative session for I-1000, more than 300 Asian Americans showed up in Olympia at 5 a.m. to attend the committee hearing and voice their opposition. Democrats, nevertheless, passed the bill on a party line vote, with one state senator dismissing the activists, telling them that they could always collect another 200,000 signatures to run another ballot measure to repeal the law. Garn Qiu, who leads Washington Asians for Equality, viewed this as an insult and motivation to show progressive legislators that they couldn't take Asian Americans for granted. Within months, Qiu and a team of volunteers, most with limited political experience, filed paperwork, launched an organization, and collected 213,268 signatures to qualify for the ballot, shocking the state's political elite. Back in 1998, Asian Americans were reluctant to get involved in the political process. John Carlson, the conservative activist who ran the original ballot measure to ban affirmative action, told me, "Now they're driving the initiative, having raised over $1 million, predominantly from Chinese American business owners and tech employees in Seattle suburbs." While the new activists have sought advice from Carlson and anti-affirmative action veteran Ward Connolly, they have made the campaign their own, attacking I-1000 as a 21st century Chinese Exclusion Act that would bring back different rules for different races. They have co-opted the rhetoric of identity politics and used it to attack progressives who claim to fight for diversity but oppose the interests of inconvenient minorities like Asian Americans, who contradict their belief that all minorities are victims of oppression. For my own family, the campaign has personal ramifications. My wife is an immigrant from Thailand, and our oldest son is passionate about math and science. I don't want to have to explain to him that people who look like mommy have to score higher to get into college than people who look like daddy, a direct violation of America's principle of equality under the law. Other biracial families we know are already discussing how to evade the looming Asian American penalty. Some have floated the idea of passing their children as white only on academic registration forms. Others have discussed using maiden names to hide their children's ethnic heritage. Looking ahead, the campaign to repeal affirmative action has the potential to change the racial dynamics of statewide politics. Asian Americans have become the first minority group to reject the progressive consensus, but organizers believe that Indian Americans and others could be next. Linda Yang, part of Washington Asians for Equality, believes that Indian Americans, many recently arrived for tech sector employment, share the same hesitations that the Asian American community had a decade ago. In 5 or 10 years, Yang believes they will be ready to join the fight against a progressive racial agenda that punishes their success. The message from Washington Asians for Equality equality is simple. Race-based discrimination is wrong. Progressive activists claim that they oppose racism, but I-1000's affirmative action program would add another layer of bureaucracy, with the sole purpose of discriminating based on race. The definition of institutionalized racism. If Asian Americans win the ballot measure this fall, they will have conducted the first successful minority-run referendum in state history, and proven that the progressive mantra of diversity and inclusion isn't enough to win the support of all minority voters.